can't hear you.
There we go. It was me. It was me. For some reason, it muted itself. You know what we're going to do? We're going to start all over again. That's
Cool.
what we're going to do.
I'm going to get my hat on then.
Go get your hat. I mean, we're live, but that's not going to change. And throw that up. Jason gone to get his hat if you've just joined us. The broadcast is live. So there it is. Kareem mentioned he might be late, which does not surprise me. But he is back. All right. Hey, while we're just doing behind-the-scenes stuff while we're live, you want to give me a quick mic check?
Mic check.
Here we go. All right. I can hear everything.
You can hear everything?
Well, I can hear you properly.
That's all that matters.
Which is, yeah, that's really all that matters with all of this. So, all right. Let's officially start over again.
Let's do it.
Hey, everybody. Welcome into another episode of the WTH podcast. My name is Nate. Kareem is back from Pittsburgh. He'll be joining us momentarily. Jason joining me live from his living room. Welcome, Jason.
What up? What up?
That was a little much.
What up?
There you go. It's a fun show we got going on tonight. So we're doing it remotely. I think it's allergies that I have, but to be on the safe side, it's best to be apart and not be in the same room for an hour while we do a show. Not to mention the fact that because we did not do it on Monday, see, I'm confused as to what day it is, too. We didn't do it on Monday. Kareem got back, saw we didn't do it, and said, hey, are we doing it tomorrow? And Kareem traveled to Pittsburgh, so he's been on a plane, and he's been in a strange city full of strange folk. So it's probably best that he's not in a room with us for an hour, too.
Some of the strangest folks.
Yeah, so it's all for the best. So that's what's going on with that. Coming up on the show today, we have more right-wingers that have COVID. Very exciting stuff. Ted Cruz says stupid things and gets called out for it. Just destroyed. And, of course, the news that came out earlier today. Do I sound overmodulated? Do I sound okay to you, Jason?
It does sound a little modulated.
Well, let me turn me down a little bit here. There we go. How about that? Better? All right. Thought I heard that, and I'm like, wait, I don't know. Different setup because I'm at home using a microphone. This is the microphone I used last week, but it's very different using it in a studio setting than using it in a setting like this with a very different mixer. So just trying to get everything squared away. My God.
Tell me how you really feel.
Is it just me, or is everything overwhelming these days? It just feels overwhelming to me.
Everything's overwhelming these days.
So it's not just me?
No.
It really feels like it's just me sometimes, where it's like struggling to keep my head above water. And it's like, what next? What next? I mean, having two small children screaming at you all the time too doesn't help with that. as you might have noticed.
Yeah.
So that's been a real challenge too, because the 2.5-year-old loves to. Her favorite thing in the world is screaming in your face, and as much as I would love to, it's a different time, and you can't just smack them.
No, you can't.
No, it would be inappropriate on a number of levels, but you can't do that. When you're just chilling and you got your eyes closed and that happens 2 inches from your ear, it's like, Then you throw an infant on top that all of a sudden in the middle of the day decides he's going to be a cranky little
Turd.
bugger.
Yeah.
Yeah, just everything whining, crying. It's like, what happened to you? Where did it all go wrong?
Well,
Because it wasn't like this a few minutes ago, and now it's nothing but this.
Alma's at that age where everything is overly just like,
Screaming.
yeah, I mean, just,
I mean, she's essentially the same age as Sam, so. Yeah, I hear her right there in the background.
Yeah. So then tells me that she's on her way out here.
Oh, there you go. But, yeah, Sam at least pretty good about going to bed, so we don't have that huge issue. Naps can be an issue sometimes, but bed, not so much. All right, so while we wait for Kareem, Jason, I know you went to Apple Hill. How was that?
It was fun, as it usually is. You know, it's a little. First of all, like we'd scheduled this like 3 or 4 weeks ago. I was like, hey, when can we go in October? When can we take a weekday when it's not crowded to go up to Apple Hill and go to some of our favorite places up there? We have 2 places that we just have to go each time. That's Harris Family Tree Farm, where we get jelly from and stuff like that. It was like the first time we ever went up there, we went there. The jellies we gave away at our wedding were from there. So there's a sentimental reason for going there. They're not usually open on Mondays, but they opened up special for us so we could go in there and spend some money. So we went there. And then we were going to stop by the Apple Hill. I can't remember the name. It's the Apple Tree Farm or something. It's not Apple Hill Tree Farm, but it's like one of those places up there that has like a cabin kind of where they have like a bunch of food and stuff like that. And then a bunch of booths and things. When we got there, it was just so many people. Like we just like, as we drove there, it's like, we'll go somewhere else. We'll go to the next place, which is Rainbow Orchard.
They have great donuts there.
At Rainbow Orchard?
Yes.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's why we go there. That's the place we get our cider and our donuts. So, so we spent time there. Had some donuts. I had like 4 or 5.
That's fair.
Yeah.
It was lunch.
It was lunch. It was definitely lunch. Because we usually go down to on our way back. We stop in Placerville and go to Hogs Wild, which is a barbecue place. Mm-hmm. And we all decided, we said that's not a good idea. We don't want to hang out in Placerville right now.
The vaccination status not what you would expect in Placerville.
Oh, just everything is not.
It's exactly what you'd expect.
Yeah, it's exactly what I would expect, and yeah. So anyhow, yeah. So it was a lot of fun. I mean, you know, got to expose the girls to it. Really, you know, CJ it. So that's it.
Yeah, we didn't go last year. We went the year before. So we've got pictures of Sam at like 8 months old, looking adorable all over this place. So we had that. And is she walking on bubble wrap?
It's a Mylar balloon from the birthday.
I knew I heard that. That's fine. I was just trying to picture what it was that was making that sound. Yeah. The Mylar balloon does make perfect sense. Yeah, we went up there. It was 2 years ago. We'll probably go up in early November, so after the Halloween rush, but before they close for the season. So it's a little bit different setup. We went to Dave's farm stand pumpkin patch in West Sac. And last year we went there and it was so crowded that we literally turned around and went somewhere else because we're like, absolutely not. Yeah. And hey, there he is. Welcome, Kareem.
Hello there.
You get to live on the bottom because you showed up late. That's how we roll. So we got there when they opened this year, actually like 5 minutes before they opened. And here's the prize for getting there before they open. You get to park really far away in their main lot, which when you have a stroller that doesn't have the off-road wheels, sucks. So we got there, we parked, and we went in, and the first thing we saw was a pony ride. And Sam was the first pony ride of the day. And she did pretty well until the pony she was riding on paused and did a full body shake shiver. And that did scare her a bit. There was a little crying and a little lower lip action for the next couple times around. She pulled it together by the end. However, the rest of the time that we were there, she didn't want to do anything. Like she was pouty, she was whiny, she was complainy. There was nothing that she wanted to do. They had this bouncy thing, and she went in there and she got on it, and there were a bunch of kids bouncing on it. So she got bounced a little bit, and she was done with that, and that was pretty much it. So we got pictures of her with the pouty lower lip, and so much so that we did not get a pumpkin. People were like, "Hey, have you carved your pumpkin?" No, we didn't carve our pumpkins. We didn't get any pumpkins.
Well, it's way too soon to carve pumpkins. Like
It is. They'll be rotted.
Yeah, you can only cut. That's like when I see people cutting. Like if it's not like 3 or 4 days before Halloween, you just screwed yourself. Like, 'cause it's not going to last longer than that.
Especially here. I mean, if you live on the East Coast where it's 40
30,
degrees,
yeah,
you're fine.
fair enough.
If you're in Pittsburgh, you can carve your pumpkin now, right, Kareem?
That's right.
So, Kareem, you're back from Pittsburgh. How was the birthday trip? And happy birthday, by the way.
Thank you. The birthday trip was great. It was. I've been to the Steelers games, but it was the first time I've been to a Steelers game in Pittsburgh. People were great for the most part. We did have a couple of drunk assholes at the game that got really obnoxious towards the Seahawks fans that were in the area we were in. But got to go to the Carnegie Museum, which was cool. Went to the Art Museum and Natural History Museum. There's a lot of culture in Pittsburgh. I was disappointed I didn't get to go to the Roberto Clemente Museum because it was closed due to, well, it wasn't closed, but they were doing like guided tours, so you had to make a reservation. And by the time I thought about it, it was too late to make the reservation. And then we went to, and then the August Wilson Museum Center was closed too because of COVID. So I was a little disappointed. August Wilson is the best-selling playwright in American history. He's a black man with a 6th grade education.
So you don't need to have education to be a playwright?
Not if you spend the rest of your time in the library. If you stop going to school and just start going to the library, nope, you don't need to be.
Well, I mean that was back in the day when going to the library was not just navigating the sea of homeless people too.
That is true. But pretty much everybody that's a black actor that you may know has been in an August Wilson play on or off Broadway. And Denzel Washington did Fences as a movie a couple of years ago. And it's probably one of the most powerful movies I've seen.
All right. And the game they won?
They won the game, went to overtime, which means it was over at like 12:30. Because it was
local time, Sunday night
time, Sunday night game. And I don't know if you know, but the stadium sits at the corner of Three Rivers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that wind off the rivers was no joke.
Yeah, it's a little different than an evening in Sacramento this time of year.
Yes.
So, well,
yeah. And it was funny. It was like 82 when we got there on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
So we were like, oh shit, we're like overdressed. But then by the time Friday or Saturday hit, it was like 62. It was 40 when we got up and it was like 62 degrees. And then it rained between us leaving the tailgate part and getting into the actual game itself. It rained in that little intermission.
Well, that sounds awful.
Yeah. Oh, and then we did see there's a little 9-year-old black girl that was on America's Got Talent who's an opera singer. Voice is a fucking amazing. So we saw her on America's Got Talent, and then she sang the national anthem.
That her?
No. She sang the national anthem, and then she ended up sitting right in front of us. So,
All right.
yeah.
Excellent. So, welcome back. We got some sad news earlier today that was it today or yesterday? Colin Powell passed away from COVID, and he was in fact vaccinated. He was also 84 years old and has been fighting cancer for quite some time. So he's got some other factors that contribute to why someone who's been vaccinated would pass away from COVID. So it can happen.
I was
Go ahead.
I was really disappointed with the headlines that I saw that came out first, because all of the first headlines just said that he died from COVID and he was vaccinated.
Right.
But it's like, okay, so how the fuck do you not mention the fact that he's had cancer and Alzheimer's?
Yeah. The headlines never really changed. That was like 3-4 paragraphs deep, and of course that was the main talking point for conservative media. Is like, well, he was vaccinated, so why get vaccinated? It's like, well, stupid. Because we'll get to all of that too, but when someone of that profile passes away, oftentimes former presidents will weigh in, usually with kind words. The 45th president put out a statement earlier today that reads, "Wonderful to see Colin Powell, who made big mistakes on Iraq and famously so-called weapons of mass destruction, be treated in death so beautifully by the fake news media. Hope that happens to me someday. He was a classic rhino. If even that, always being the first to attack other Republicans. He made plenty of mistakes, but anyway, may he rest in peace." That is literally an official statement put out by the 45th president of the United States. What a dick.
What a piece of shit.
Jason?
I mean, do I need to say anything?
Hey.
I don't know.
Fuck yourself.
Yeah,
How's that?
thank you. Took the words out of my mouth.
And then I was gonna say Mark Lamont Hill, who normally I listen to and agree with, but he decided to bring up some of the shit about Iraq, and like I was like, dude, like a lot of people were like, okay, so if you want to have the conversation about his legacy, at least let his body get warm first.
Yeah, I mean, and it's fair to bring that up. Maybe wait until after the funeral. I mean, and you can. There's a variety of things you can say, and I don't think it's out of bounds to bring any of those things up, but that's certainly not the headline that should be going along with his passing.
Yeah,
but
and that was my point, and there was a lot of people's points. Like, okay, you can have this conversation. You could have had this conversation last week while he was still alive, or next week, but don't. Just common courtesy.
Yeah, and it was something that he regretted for the rest of his life. So it's not like it was something that happened and he did not want to take any ownership of, or even acknowledge. It wasn't that sort of situation. It was, something.
And it was not even something he really wanted to do. He kind of got painted into a corner.
Well, yeah, when you're in that position, you do what your boss tells you to do when your boss is the commander in chief. And that's kind of why he ended up doing what he did in that time frame, was because that was what was expected of him. So, anyway, let's move on from there. I have a whole section I've entitled "Vaccination Situation / Fuck That Guy."
Fuck yourself.
All right, let's start with Dan Bongino. Dan Bongino works for Cumulus Radio. Dan Bongino got a lot of Rush Limbaugh's radio stations across the country. Dan Bongino is not vaccinated, and he had some things to say. Hold on. Oh, that fell out. That's why I'm not hearing it. Sorry.
That's what she said.
Right. Pause. Pause. Technical difficulties here. This is what happens. See, this would not happen if we were doing the show at the Darling New Media Studios. But when you do it from home, you open yourself up to all sorts of issues like this. Now we go not live, to Dan Bongino.
Imagine the countless number of individuals trying to explain to these companies. Ever thought of that? The countless numbers of moms and dads who are sitting at some kitchen table explaining to their kids how they may have to move out, how daddy doesn't have a job because a bunch of people in a C-suite thought it'd be a good idea to sit around and play pretend Dr. Fauci for a moment and mandate people jam something in their bodies that they don't want to take. You ever put yourself in that role? You ever put yourself at that kitchen table with mom and dad telling their kids that?
Fuck yourself.
Imagine how the kids respond, that fear they got to live with. You know, I grew up without a lot of money. My mom used to make bologna sandwiches for dinner.
Those were very bad times.
You'd cook it, and you'd make it good right quick, right? I'm not leaving any of those guys behind.
What do you mean I'm not leaving those guys behind?
What guys? What guys behind is he not leaving behind? Who's
well, he's leaving himself behind because he's not going to get. He's taking it. That's the hill he's going to die on, so to speak. He is not getting vaccinated. He's told Cumulus Radio he's not getting vaccinated, and so it's either the vaccine or him, and they're going to have to decide who's more important, who's more scary important, Dan Bongino or the vaccine, or the safety of all of the other coworkers at Cumulus Radio. Let's be clear about one thing. Dan Bongino is not Rush Limbaugh.
No.
And I don't think he has the power and the sway to make that happen. And he's also terrible at broadcast. Like he sucks. He's a former Secret Service agent. He has no background in it, and he's really bad at it. I do love the whole, oh, hey, imagine you're around the kitchen table and you've got to talk to the kids. What about being around that kitchen table? By the way, if you've been to people's houses, who's having a conversation around their kitchen table these days? That is some 1950s bullshit, leave it to Beaver talk that doesn't actually happen.
No. It happens in my house for now.
Thanks, Ward. Ward Casey with the kids around the table. Did you have the talk saying, Daddy, we're going to have to move out because Daddy was too stubborn to get a vaccine that's proven safe for millions and millions of people just to make a point and be an asshole? So now we've got to move out of our house.
Because Daddy was a dumbass.
You have that conversation with your kids?
Nope.
Daddy is too much of a bullheaded dickbag to get a vaccine that's been approved by the FDA.
While we've had conversations that are like around that orbit somewhat, not that exact one.
A lot of conversations about how daddy's useless.
Yeah.
Causing the family lots and lots of problems.
Yeah.
Those are the tough ones. Usually mommy's the one who starts those.
Yeah. Nope, these are the kids. I mean,
well, that's,
CJ already knows the flaws.
Starts them early.
She's like, Daddy, is that your second Coke tonight? Like, don't ask me about my diabetes.
Yeah, there was a time when Daddy's Coke had rum in it.
Time where there was nothing but rum.
Right? Daddy's rum and Coke didn't have any Coke. Just rum. Just rum.
Mommy, what happened to Daddy's toes?
Yeah. Why is Daddy doing Wilford Brimley impressions?
Oh boy. So Ted Cruz, noted actor.
Yeah, this douchebag. Let's hear about it.
So Ted Cruz, he took to Twitter, as he often does, to say things that he thinks are clever, but they're not. So he tweeted about Australia and got a response from Michael Gunner, the chief minister for the Northern Territory of Australia. Ted Cruz tweets, I love the Aussies. Their history of rugged independence is legendary. I've always said that Australia is the Texas of the Pacific.
What
right. The COVID tyranny of their current government is disgraceful and sad. Individual liberty matters. I stand with the people of #Australia. Which brought this response. Excuse me while I take a drink. See, that cough is why we're not doing this in the same room. Post-nasal drip. Hey, at Ted Cruz. G'day from the Northern Territory in Australia. Here are some facts. Nearly 70,000 Texans have tragically died from COVID. There have been 0 deaths in the territory. Did you know that? Vaccination is so important here because we have vulnerable communities and the oldest continuous living culture on the planet to protect. Did you know that? We've done whatever it takes to protect the territory, and that's kept us safe and free. We have been in lockdown for just 8 days in 18 months. Our businesses and schools are all open. Did you know that? We don't need your lectures. Thanks, mate. You know nothing about us. And if you stand against a life-saving vaccine, then you sure as hell don't stand with Australia. I love Texas, go Longhorns, but when it comes to COVID, I'm glad we're nothing like you. Or, in shorter form,
Fuck yourself.
Fuck you. Yeah.
that's how it goes when Ted Cruz goes to Twitter. I love it because these politicians, specifically the right-wing ones, not that everybody on the left is brilliant or smart or anything like that, but the ones on the right are so used to buffaloing their supporters with utter fucking nonsense and bullshit that they roll every now and then. They'll get cocky and roll it out to another part of the world, and there is nothing the rest of the world likes more than setting Americans straight on their fucking nonsense. So it's not going to stand. I don't know what he was thinking.
Well, he doesn't care. He just is fucking showing that he's he's speaking to the few constituents that he has and all the Trump. Like, they don't even care what Australia said. They don't care.
Right.
They don't, like, that doesn't matter to them. Ted Cruz is a fucking homie. You know what I mean? He's giving them the what for and telling them that they're assholes.
Sure.
He's anti-vax. Like, get the fuck out of here.
He sure is. He sure is. Radio host Dennis Prager. Are you familiar with Dennis Prager?
Oh my god.
Of Prager University, which is a university on YouTube, where an old guy tries to school people on things that he thinks he's smarter about than you are. They're filled with little animations and stuff like that. He's had
different people on there, not just him.
Yeah, including Adam Carolla. Like, he did a whole tour with Adam Carolla, so they're sort of chummy. That.
You know, here's the thing. I had respect for Dennis Prager for exactly 5 minutes when I saw a piece that they had that was about the Civil War and about how the South lost and how it was about slavery. And to say that it wasn't is, like, not correct because it was mentioned in the first paragraph of, like, every... everyone. So, like, yeah, like, so it was just... and about... You know, when monuments were installed, like, it was a very insightful piece, and I was like, "Oh, this is great." I'm like, and then, yeah, so yeah, fucking like,
well, he has COVID.
Okay, everybody, all good. I'm broadcasting from my home because I'm not going into the station as I have COVID. I was tested positive last week, and I have been steadily improving. At no point was I in danger of hospitalization.
Nobody cares about him.
I have received monoclonal antibodies.
Fuck him!
Regeneron.
Fuck him, dude.
I have, of course, for years, a year and a half, not years, been taking hydroxychloroquine from the beginning with zinc. I've taken Z-Pak, the erythromycin, as the Zelenko protocol would have it.
Okay. he could have just had the vaccine.
Yeah.
Two shots. Two shots. Instead, he's listed like a whole fucking laundry list of bullshit that he's been taking.
And he used monoclonal like antibiotic. Like that just upsets me so much because he probably talks shit about about using Planned Parenthood and about fetuses and all that type of shit. Stem cell. Like he's against that fucking shit. Like, oh my, fuck these dudes. Just fuck him. He doesn't get to use that type of medication. Like he can find whatever other medications he needs to get. Like, but he shouldn't be given one that's not FDA approved. Like, way, and is experimental.
If you're railing against big pharma and the unproven vaccines, you shouldn't be getting that. Just saying.
All the other ones.
All they should get is vitamins C.
I have done what a person should do
and sit out in the sun.
If one is not going to get vaccinated. It is infinitely preferable to have natural immunity.
It's not. And
sit out in the sun and eat oranges. That's all they should be able to do.
I've done everything a person. He sounds awful.
Yeah, it's funny.
Terrible.
He sounds out of breath still. Like,
well, I guarantee he is. He put on a tie for this, and he's doing. It's on Skype, so everything is delayed and terrible, and all of the other stuff that you would expect. I mean, not everyone is going to live up to the same standards we have here. And I threw this setup together that I'm doing from home in Kareem plugged in his microphone as he was sitting down. Yes. I finished setting this up 10 minutes before I got here. I've got 3 iPads and a laptop, and Dennis Prager is on a radio station in Los Angeles. So
I'm on a desk that can move.
Ooh, that's creepy.
Then vaccine immunity. And that is what I hoped for the entire time.
Well, congratulations. You got
it. You got it.
So now he's going to have his natural immunity, except there are a lot of people with natural immunity who keep getting COVID over and over again. So
what this guy said. What this guy said.
There's that. Oh, by the way, Ted Cruz, he's fighting for you. Except he needs your help to fight for you.
Should be no mandates. That's why I've introduced legislation to ban vaccine passports, to ban vaccine mandates, and to end mask mandates on airplanes. Will you help me in this fight by rushing an urgent donation now?
No, you've introduced your fucking legislation. You're a United States senator. What do you need money for if you've already introduced the legislation? The legislation that says you can't require people to do anything. That literally you should give people back money if that goes through. Instead of being there like, rush me your urgent What do you need money for this?
He needs to go on a vacation.
He needs to go to Cancun and then blame his kids.
Yes.
I didn't want to go, but my kids, they had to go on the plane. I'm back from Cancun, and they're staying for another week. I'm packing it down. Speaking of planes, there was a lady on a plane who
this bitch.
Somehow... The person on TikTok bought Wi-Fi on the plane just to post this video of this lady. Now, she apparently brought her own microphone on the plane, but jacked it into the PA system on the plane. And she, for some reason, thinks that that's going to be okay, that she stands up on the plane in the middle of a flight and starts her rant. So here we go.
I tried borrowing yours. You don't want to let me use it. I brought my microphone. I'm going to use it. This is perfect. Thank you. We're set up great. The pandemic started all because humans had lost a little bit of faith. You're going to cuff me? You're going to cuff me.
I'd like to cuff her.
I'm not in front of my speech. I don't need to be taken anywhere. I don't need to be cuffed. I'm completely harmless.
I disagree. I think she needs to be cuffed in multiple ways. Handcuffed. You know what I'm saying, Kareem.
So the white women think that they just have no consequence for anything.
Yeah, let's continue to listen to this nonsense.
Also, I think you're all enjoying this because, like I said, I'm not terrible to look at. Yeah. That's me. The reason why the pandemic started was basically because the internet.
Okay, now she's walking up and down the aisle, delivering this like she's got this dissertation. Here's why it started. Because of the internet. All right. If I didn't think you were crazy before, now I know you're crazy.
So the reason the pandemic started is because nobody here has anyone's face because you're all stuck to your stupid devices and you don't even know what reality is anymore and you depend on stupid nonsense to determine your reality.
People are like, well, she just wants attention. Don't give her attention. Give her attention. Give her the attention that you would give anybody else causing a disturbance on a flight who thinks they can just take it over. And essentially she's hijacked the PA system.
Yeah.
And should be treated as such.
My dog has better sense than any of you. In fact, my dog could be a better God for you people. My dog is my dog.
Did you catch that last part? My dog could be a better God for you people. My dog is my God.
Wow.
Some white woman shit right there.
Oh my God!
Yeah. Makes you want to travel. Kareem, was there anyone like that on your flight?
Thank goodness, no. I think. Look, I don't know if anybody like that from my flight from Pittsburgh to Atlanta because I was asleep.
Right.
And
Well,
I think
I mean,
everybody else was so tired from the game that they were.
Yeah. There's a lot of that. Hold on, I need to find. Oh, Netflix boss says he screwed up with Chappelle memos, but stance hasn't changed. That's a headline from the Hollywood Reporter. Just came through. Dave Chappelle makes us money. Leave me alone.
Exactly. Like Dave Chappelle pay your salary. Go sit your dumb ass down somewhere.
Dave Chappelle makes too much money for us. Forget about it. Let me see what this is because I sent it to y'all. Oh, so I want to talk about Sean King's white hoodie for a moment. Kareem, could you enlighten the people as to who Sean King is?
Sean King is a white black activist. He's a male Rachel Dolezal.
So he posts his stuff. His Twitter feed is one thing. His Instagram feed is quite another. Yeah. He posts this picture of a white hoodie, and there's a little patch at the end of one sleeve. And he writes, yes, this is a plain white hoodie, but it's the only one like it in the entire world. I've worked for the past 2 years to make it. Literally this morning, I woke up at 3 a.m. to have a Skype with our partners in Tanzania as it's being manufactured. It's the only fully black-owned hoodie being manufactured on the planet right now. Made by black-owned businesses in Tanzania, Kenya, Brooklyn, Philadelphia, and Atlanta. This is our 100% organic signature white hoodie for at a real one. It is made of 100% organic cotton that is harvested by black farmers. Hold on. They've got black people harvesting cotton, Kareem? Is that okay?
Yeah, I'll try.
And then produced and manufactured in Africa. It is mid-weight French terry and has a 260 GSM fiber composition. It has double-stitched kangaroo pouch pocket in the front. Please notice the special A Real One neck label and wrist label. Our products are true to size. If in doubt, get one size larger than normal. Well, are they true to size or are they not?
No, none of them ever are.
The image you were looking at was taken by a black photographer. The website you shop from was built by a black-owned design firm. We are using black-owned print shops for all of our printing. And when this hoodie arrives in the mail, it will have been packaged and shipped to you by the only full-service black woman-owned fulfillment center in the United States. I built this company for social justice. We are not a fashion company that dabbles in confronting inequity. We are a freedom-fighting company that does fashion. It took me nearly 2 years to figure out how to design, sell, package, and ship beautifully crafted clothing with black-owned providers from the seed to the shipping. Together, we can change the entire supply chain. That is power. We have small to double XL. No, you don't have to be black to purchase and wear this. But by doing so, you are supporting the empowerment of black people here in the United States and around the world. Love and appreciate all for your support. Your friend and brother, Sean. So, Jason, have you ordered your $128 white hoodie? You're muted.
Unmute yourself.
I said, I might have some white guilt, but I don't have $128 worth of white guilt.
He has 4 of them. Don't let him fool you. He got 4 of them. Look, that's gonna be what they're gonna take their Christmas card pictures in.
Well, I mean, to be fair though, he is putting this post out on a platform owned by the whitest man in America.
That is true.
So it's not all black through the chain, Sean. I get what he's trying to do, but it's so easy to make fun of this on so many levels. And it's a shame because I think it's probably a good idea. It's not a bad thing. But to put out a plain white hoodie and say it's $128 because I spent 2 years making this. He spent nothing making this. He had an idea and went out and found other people to do it.
Well, I just like to know what the cost is. Like, what's the cost and who's getting the profit? Like,
well, Mr. Wonderful, that's a Shark Tank question.
Well, I mean, like listen. If it costs because he has all these places that he's doing all this special handwork and stuff like that, if the actual cost is really high, which it could be, and it's like $100, then it totally makes sense. But if it's like $20 cost and like he's charging $120, like then you better be donating all the proceeds to like.
Well, his argument would be that all of the costs are going to these black companies, these black owned companies.
Sorry,
you'd be right about that.
Yeah, but no.
I mean,
is he really paying them equitably then? If he can make that much profit off of it?
What he's doing
what
all
do
of
you
this
mean
stuff
equitably? If he's doing,
if all of his manufacturing is in Africa, all of his growing is in Africa. How much is that costing compared to if he were to do it here in the United States?
I don't know.
It's not China, but it's certainly not going to be as expensive as if he were to go to black farmers in Alabama and Mississippi and say, hey, I need this much cotton. I need it done this way. I need this. I need this. I need this. The cost to do it here in the States would be significantly higher.
Right, but by not having it at an affordable price that makes sense, like $28, $30, if he's not concerned about profit and he's concerned about helping these people out, then he'd be making as many of them as he can and selling them at a price that's not making that much profit. Because I would buy one for $40 if it was made by all those places. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I would buy one then if it was made.
Look at all the people that he says in the chain.
Right.
He didn't say there were 2 people in the chain. He said there were like 10 people in the chain.
Right. No, I get it. But what I'm saying
and not to mention that shipping costs are through the roof right
now. That's why I'm saying, like, if he is making, like, if after all the costs are cut, like everything like said and done, when you hit buy, if all those other people only make $20 on it, and he gets to pocket $108 of it and just puts it in his pocket and he's made a profit of $108, then he's doing it a disservice to not only his customers, but also to the people selling the items, because he's going to sell a lot more of those at $40 than he is at $128. So he doesn't really care about supporting them, is what I'm saying. If it costs $100, then $128 is reasonable. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that if it's like $20 to make, then it's all, like, what's it called when you're not?
I knew your white guilt was gonna come out somewhere.
No, it's not white guilt. Like, wait, how's that white guilt? How's that white guilt? I just don't understand. Like, I don't capitalizing off of your customers for just the capitalization's sake and saying you're supporting. Are you gonna? What's gonna be more fruitful for the people?
Wait. Okay, Jason, what is 0 out of 0?
What's your point? 0. I mean, yeah. What's your point?
So if those farmers was not making shit, and he's paying them $20, guess what they're making? $20 that they didn't have last week.
Right, and if he goes into business selling something for $128 and nobody buys it, then nobody makes out, except for him on the only of the 100 that he makes. But if he sells it for $40 and it's only $25 to make, or 20, 30, what I'm saying is you can't charge $128 for something when you can get it. Like if that, like I said, if the cost is $128, then I'm fine with it. Like I'm even fine. I'm just saying, to profit that much off of it, you're not really caring, because I guarantee you that more people would buy it, and those people would have a longer sustained time of being able to do what they're doing, like to continue making profit, spread it down. Like, does that make sense? What I'm saying at all? I'm not.
I hear what you're saying, but if you try to buy a hoodie with an NFL logo on it, you're going to pay somewhere between $60 and $85.
Yeah.
Which this may be a much higher quality item. So to sell a designer's hoodie for $128 is not crazy.
But what I'm saying, like, the NFL is not trying to sell me something and saying that they're doing something well or sustainable for people. They're not selling me an idea of being sustainable and baking a bunch of. I know if I'm buying something with the NFL like thing on it, that there's a lot of people making money off of this, and they're only paying, like, the cost of it's probably $5 or $6. I guarantee it that it's way under and like whatever they're charging for it. And it's all I'm saying is, don't try to sell me that you're doing something special and you're helping people out.
So what if his cost is $60?
And I'm okay. Like,
because he did.
What's he trying to?
Wait, because he did say that part of his distribution is with a black woman in the United States, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
he's paying. So look. So the people in Africa are only making $2. She's getting her money.
I'm not saying what I'm saying. Like, she's part of that cost. She's part of that $20 cost. I'm not saying.
My guess though is she's not. My guess is you pay extra for shipping once it gets to the States. That part of that cost is to get it from Africa to the U.S. Once it lands in Brooklyn at that woman's facility, then you are probably paying another whatever it is for her to ship. He's not putting that into the cost there. I mean, how much profit he makes, I don't think is the question here. The question is, what up with Sean King? Are we pro the sweatshirts, or are we anti the sweatshirts? Because I see stuff on Twitter, and everyone's gonna have a take one way or another, and I'm just kind of curious. Cost aside, the sell behind it, are you thumbs up or thumbs down for Sean King on this?
I'm thumbs up for him on it. If it's going the way he says it is.
Right. Jason, are you thumbs up, thumbs down?
I'm thumbs up with it. I'm just against people saying that they're for. Like, what's going to be better for the people downline on it? If he's selling it for $40 and it only costs $35 plus shipping and handling costs, or if it costs $128. Sorry. So yeah, I'm happy for the good. Yeah, there's a lot of people getting money from it that should be getting it. Yeah, so it's fine.
Apparently, this lady is running against AOC for Congress.
What a fucking disgrace! And where are the Republicans? Silent as usual. You want to know why? Because Republicans are just as swampy as the demon rat motherfuckers. That's right, you're swampy on both fucking sides.
Why does she sound like Michael Rappaport?
Because she's from, her neck looks like Michael Rappaport's neck. 2, She's from the same section of the world.
Okay.
And here's the most important part, and the people who are watching cannot see this. She is staring daggers into her phone while she is driving at about 55 miles an hour on the road. She is not at all looking at the road.
What a fucking disgrace!
It sounds like Michael Rappaport.
He just told on herself.
She seems nice. Her name is Tina Forte, and she's challenging AOC for her seat in Congress.
She's not going to.
I don't get to vote in that district. If I did, I would probably go behind the person who sounds more intelligent, and I know it.
Where are the Republicans? Silent as usual. You want to know why? Because Republicans are just as swampy as the demon rat motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Demon mutt motherfuckers.
Demon rat.
A demon rat motherfuckers.
Democrat is a demon rat.
Demon rat.
The other thing is I cannot support anybody who does what they think is clever wordplay like that, because it's just awful. And the last thing I want is more of that nonsense. We've already got Marjorie Taylor Greene. That is quite enough.
Somebody send her some batteries.
Or at least like make her watch some Rudy Ray Moore show, like and like see like how you actually say something.
She doesn't need Rudy Ray Moore. She needs some batteries.
You know what she needs? She needs to find some Jesus.
He was at the game and the Pope.
Here's the other thing that's happening. I've been seeing this. So remember, in the military, you have to get a COVID-19 vaccine, and we've talked about this at length. Kareem, you were in the military, and they require a lot of vaccinations.
Yes.
So this soldier at Baycon 1010 went live on Instagram. His profile picture is an American flag in black and white, because of course it is. He titled this live video #military, #Republican, #conservative, #Democrat, #liberal, #make it make sense, Mill talk, let's go Brandon. He's holding a piece of paper that says, I do this under duress with threat of losing my livelihood and how I have supported my family for nearly 14 years.
I don't. Okay.
Here comes the needle. Here it comes.
Relax your arm a little bit. There we go.
And it's over.
I don't.
And it's over. Relax your arm a little bit. Boop, done.
So I was on Twitter with this one, with all the other former military people that were like, "You dumb motherfucker." We took back. Look, getting a vaccine was not an option.
Right.
And guess what? In the military, a lot of shit is not an option.
I believe the military is based on other people ordering you to do things, whether you like it or not.
Right. And this is my other thing with all of the rest of these people. If you have a business, if you are a business owner, you do not want employees that are going to decide on their own what part of your business culture they're going to do or adhere to. So stop with the bullshit about how you think that people should have all of these rights and make all of these decisions. Because if you actually own the fucking business, you want the people to toe your business's line. Point blank, period.
You want to be able to keep your customers and your workers safe, above and beyond. But even if you're not doing, even if you're only doing it to not get sued, you want to keep your customers healthy and safe. You want to keep your workers healthy and safe. Let's go to the NBA now very quickly before we wrap things up. Do you know who MPJ is, Kareem? He plays in Denver.
Michael Porter Jr.
Yes, MPJ. This from The Ringer. He says he's not anti-vax. Quote, "We don't have years and years of data for how it can affect you. So for me, I know I'm immune to COVID right now, more immune than a lot of people with the vaccine are. Why? I've had it twice. I've got the antibodies. Just laying off on it for now.
But if you had it twice, wait, what? Like, how does?
If you had the antibodies, you wouldn't have had it the second time. And ask Jason Tatum how you feel from having it. Ask Cam Newton how he felt last season after having it. And there's shit that's going on in your body from having it that you don't know the results of, that are way worse than what you think you're going to get from the vaccine.
Long-term stuff. Long haul COVID, it's called.
Yes. And that shit is no joke.
No joke. No joke. I've got the antibodies. I've got immunity. I've had COVID twice. You're not a smart person.
No.
I wish that one of the reporters would have called him on that shit and been like, so if you had the antibodies once, then why'd you get it a second? Why'd you get it a second time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
None of these people are as smart as they think they are.
No.
And they're all agreeing because that's who they fucking are. They're agreeing with people who they feel who are doing shit that they want to do or that they're doing. Not because they think or they know that their person's right. Like I said, it's high school all over again. It's people who were leaders in high school because they were bigger and stronger than the people they were in high school with. And people listened to them then. Then they got in the real world. They realized they didn't know shit, and people stopped listening to them again.
Yeah. By the way, speaking of COVID, the leading killer of police officers the last 2 years, COVID-19. COVID-19. So
by a long shot.
Yeah. I mean, you would say that deaths actually have gone down for police officers if you didn't include the COVID deaths.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really unfortunate. And the fact that there are cops who are saying, I'm not going to get vaccinated at this point after knowing that is just baffling to me.
Dude, they're going to war. They're going to war in war zones, boy. Like, that's like, they get shot and killed.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what killed a lot of people in wars? Dysentery.
Yes.
Malaria.
It's so ridiculous, dude. It's so fucking ridiculous.
And by the way, if you're worried about malaria, hydroxychloroquine will help with that. It will help with that. All right, so that's gonna wrap it up. My little mixer is giving me an error here, so we're gonna call it a day. I tried to play the outro theme. So you know where this would not have happened? This would not have happened at Darling New Media in the studios there, because we have the highest quality mixers there, not in my house because I did not bring it home with me. It's in either Studio A or Studio B where this shit does not happen. So, anywho, any last words? Any final thoughts, Kareem?
I got a new job today. I started my new job today.
Congratulations, my friend.
So I got a trip to Pittsburgh and a new job for my birthday.
All right,
nice.
Jason.
Thank you, Black Jesus.
Right, Jason. How about you?
I just want to thank Black Jesus for everything.
Isn't that the only Jesus?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I have a new bit that I do, which it sort of hurts my throat a little bit, but I'll tell you what it is. When I get a call, that recorded call about my extended warranty on my car that we've been trying to reach you, I press 1 to speak with a representative. And then when William, who, and I know the trouble with a poo, so everybody calm down. It was, hello, my name is William. How can I help you with this? I scream into the phone, stop fucking calling me motherfuckers. And they hang up right away.
I like
at the top of my lungs. I may get an air horn to do it. You know, just skip that. As soon as they answer, just hit that.
My dad one time on my phone, because I used to get calls from my grandma all the time. Like, we get these calls from these pastors and stuff, like, trying to get money, like just trying to get money from him. And he was like, so upset. He's like, he was like yelling at him, like getting into it. And like, he ended it before he hung up on them. He said, the best part of you dripped down your mother's leg. I know that's cold.
So some insight for you if you're thinking of getting that call from dealer services about your extended warranty. It's a call center in India. That's who's on the other end. There's no actual extended warranty. You can move on with your day from that. It's just every day at 7:25 I've been getting that call from a Vermont area code. Just different places. And I think it's because my Google Voice numbers that my dad can call for a local call rings through to my cell phone. So I'm pretty sure that's why. But it's just all like I would see on the caller ID like this little podunk town with 200 people in Vermont, and that's the call. And I'm like, no, it isn't. No, it isn't. So I think my final thought is don't be an asshole. Be good to each other. Get vaccinated. Please don't. We want you to get vaccinated so you don't get sick and die. That's why. That's literally why. It's literally that simple.
Another reason.
And by the way, if you have some time, watch Jordan Klepper's trip to Iowa to talk to Trump supporters at a rally.
Please do.
Please do. It'll be worth your time. And with that, I bid you all adieu and good night.